Yo, what's going on guys, this is Tase. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to look at EOG spamming and DCUO and how to do it the most optimally. I haven't done a video like this ever, so it might be a bit shocked, but it is what it is. Let's go over all the mods, allies, and all the artifacts, what you need to do to EOG spam with the most efficiency, right? So let's go over this. So let's start with the artifacts. Everyone is using these 5 artifacts. The first one we're going to talk about is the Quizlet. The Quizlet is going to give you a little bit extra supercharge. As you can see, every time Mega Blast is activated, you get plus 1% supercharge. Mega Blast is activated by using a superpower of any kind, and it will proc every 5 seconds. There's a 5-second internal cooldown. This is basically just going to give you extra supercharge just passively. Next, we're going to talk about the Eye of the Gemini. This shows you why it's very important to use a 10k supercharge, because it gives you 3% supercharge every second the green circle is active. This is why no one is asking for a 2.5k healer, because the 10k gives more supercharge per second, meaning you're just getting overall more supercharge across the entire raid. So the EOG, there's a few things to talk about with this. The circle is not always accurate. If your character moves, the circle is moving with you. Your character is essentially the center of the circle. Also, you need to be in combat for the circle to become active and for you to give supercharge. If you become out of combat while your screen is still going, whatever supercharge is left after you're out of combat will not be given to yourself or other people within your circle. And finally, the last artifact is going to be the Scrap of the Soul Cloak. Scrap of the Soul Cloak increases your supercharge generation by 27%. It also increases your supercharge bar by 27%. So instead of holding 10,000 supercharge in your bar, you can hold 12,700. It also reduces your supercharge ability cooldown, so the usual is about 30 seconds for most 10k supercharges. It's going to bring it down by roughly about 6 seconds to bring it down to 24, which is huge. It also restores 7% max supercharge after using a supercharge ability, which we're going to get into with the next allies and mods. Also, there's 2 other things that also do the same thing. Now let's talk about allies. Your 2 passives are going to be Flash and Black Adam. You're going to use Flash's first and Black Adam's second. Flash is going to give back 15% supercharge whenever you use a 10k supercharge, which is going to give you 1500 supercharge points. Black Adam is going to buff your supercharge generator, and I'm going to show you a clip in a second of my sparring targets of what that looks like. The John Constantine, you can use that as your combat. It just gives your group a really good buff. It also stacks to other people's John Constantine, so it's really nice overall. You want to at least get these allies to level 8 to get a good amount out of them, but of course if you want to get the most out of them, get them to level 10. The last part of your gear setup is going to be the ultimate mods, the head and back to be specific. The head mod is going to give you 15% supercharge back, which is going to be 1500 if you're using a 10k, which you should be. The ultimate back mod has a 30-second internal cooldown, but it's going to give you the 25% chance whenever you use a shield or supercharge generator to reset both of those cooldowns. And it's going to be very good if you're using a shield as your 10k supercharge, because it's also going to reset the cooldown of your supercharge. You might want to think of this while you're creating your loadouts for your different powers, because you want to use this mod as much as you possibly can and spam that 30-second cooldown to get the most out of it. So let's talk about what gives you supercharge. Every individual hit you do against an opponent will give you a baseline of supercharge. When you heal an ally, you will get supercharged, including pets. And finally, your artifacts, your allies, and your mods will all give you supercharge back based off of what happens. Whenever you use a supercharge, you're going to get a grand total of 4,402 supercharge back. So you're basically getting 44% of whatever supercharge you use back for free. Now I'm going to show you guys the loadouts that I use in my water and electricity healers. These are the only 2 powers I know that have something that increases the potential of EOG spamming. Elec has Tesla Ball and Water has Riptide. Tesla Ball is going to give you more passive supercharge generation, and Riptide you can use to refresh the cooldown of your supercharge generator so you can hit it back to back. When creating loadouts for your other powers, you want to keep in mind that you are a healer, you want to keep your group alive, don't run something troll. At the very least you want to run your priority heal, your group heal. You might want to run some stuff to proc your ultimate back mod more, like shields. Now I'm going to give you guys my last few tips to give you guys an advantage. The main thing is keeping up with your group. You want to be right behind the tank to keep him healed whenever he's gathering adds, but you also want to make sure that you're able to get into combat quickly so you can not miss any frames of your green. Here's an example of that happening. Here you can see that I don't have enough supercharge to start with to pop a super, so to get in combat I'm going to use Tesla Ball, and then as soon as I get the supercharge generator off I pop my green. Here I do this because I know this room is gonna have a good amount of ads coming through the doors and it's gonna last long enough, so it's safe to pop your supercharge a little late on this room. The second most important thing when using your supercharge is thinking about where to put it. So in this clip you can see I ran past the first set of ads because I know they're gonna die quickly. I ran to the second set and placed it in where the group is. You also want to keep like melee DPS players into account because there's some rage people that might be right up against the ads. You want the edge of your circle to be within their vicinity. Now on boss fights you can get the most out of your EOG. You want to spam your Tesla Ball and your supercharge generator as much as you can, but you also want to keep the tank alive, watch the tank's health bar. Also watch for mechanics that give a big AoE hit to your group, because if you hit a good galvanized group heal and priority after that, you can get a huge supercharge generation, and also you're obviously keeping your group alive. My final tip is to tell you guys how to quickly get in combat. The fastest way to get in combat is to quickly do a weapon range attack, and then you can pop your EOG. You can tell if you're in combat by looking on the top left of your screen. There'll be a red outline on your HUD if you are in combat. That's the end of my tips. I hope you guys found it resourceful. Like I said, I haven't done a video like this before, so if it wasn't that great, I apologize. But I'm going to play the rest of the video I was referencing to. Enjoy.
snow. When it falls in the wind, you know. And you say you wanna dance. You're wary, you know, you'll end up in the wrong hands. And you're having fun. Why don't you show your friends? And you're having fun. What if it never ends? I'm lacking sincerity, but you don't care at all. This booze, this cigarettes trying to take me home. Falling in love just a million times, breaking it off with the feeling on ice still. She's as cold as December. I swear I see